Barry John, you know these guys that are representing Kerry next Sunday inside out as individuals and collectively. What do you like about Kerry this year?
Like they still have most of the same threats that they had over the past few years that I was with them, but I think their intensity, they've really upped their intensity, and I think they're being left play. There's nice fluent there. A big test was the Tyrone game. I thought going into that I actually was confident enough, and then Tyrone brought something that I thought they'd bring two inside and they'd cause Kerry a bit of trouble with the kick pass, which they did at times, but I thought Kerry showed great leadership, and Dave and a few of the lads just grabbed it, and it will stand to them going into the final, most definitely.
I suppose there's a good balance, but what's it like being a young man going out in Croke Park? We talk about Sean O'Shea the next day, Barry John, likewise David Clifford, as we used to say about him, he was a senior playing minor footballer, but it's a big step up, isn't it, All-Ireland occasion against an experienced Dublin side? Yeah,
it is. I remember someone asking me over the same question about the two lads, Shawnee and Dave, but when we were coming into the scene, we didn't have much. We didn't win much at minor level or in 21 level. We had the team, but we didn't get there. And these lads have won everything, like Hogan Cups, Kearney Varese, Munster Minor, Munster Senior. Like they've won everything.
What does that do for a player then?
It gives you that bit of confidence, definitely. Like, I know when we went in, we were going in with probably Cullum and Kieran was around, and they'd help you along. But when you see someone progressing themselves that young, you even get a bit of confidence off them that they just throw the shackles off. Like, they seem to play with no pressure, like, especially the younger fellas.
Oh, that's very interesting now, because I haven't heard it, because it's nice to hear it for some, because you were relating to it at a time when, like you say, you didn't have success at minor, where you didn't win in minor All-Ireland, likewise under 21. But do you reckon the winning mentality is there, and there's guys there the next day, they'll believe that they're better than Dublin?
Of course they will, yeah.
And you have to.
Because some of them, like, I know I'm reading some there, Brian Fenton hasn't lost a championship game, like, but some of these lads have only lost a few games since they probably became minors, like, do you know? So that's a big factor there, and like, I don't know, Clifford, for example, there, I remember the few of the lads over was asking about him, and he could have a shot there and it could go short or wide, but it's just next ball with him, like. And I think all the young fellas have the same thing. They're not thinking about, Jesus, will I be taken off, whatever. They just express themselves, and I think that's what Kerry will need.
But Barry John, describe, and you know what he's like, David Clifford, you've played with him. How good a talent is this guy?
He's very level-headed, to be fair to him, and I think he doesn't realise how good he is, which is a good thing. He doesn't realise how good he is, and on his day, I know he's going to be. There's a few dubs over in Boston, and on his day, they know that he's going to be the X factor. He'll need to be stopped.
And actually, it was very notable in the semi-final against Tyrone. He was kind of tied up in the first half. Got possession, but there was 2 or 3 aggressively going in, trying to dispossess him or not let him have the ball. But a great sign of a player. He came out in the second half, and Kerry played differently, but he was patient. A sign of a great player, isn't it?
Very patient, yeah. I remember Mark Bradley from Tyrone was saying he was being tied up, and I was like, don't worry, there's loads of time left for him. He'll be fine. No, they wrapped him up well, and do you know what? I was happy they did, because he needed that bit of a test. He was very good against Mayo. He didn't talk against Donegal. And again against Tyrone, when the game was to be won, like, he was living off scraps. And that last score, like, when he was being pushed away, like, to have the balance still to put that over with his weaker foot is...
Like you say, he has that X factor.
That's different.
Is it good for Kerry then that we have the likes of the Paul Gainey's coming into form? You know it as a forward, that forwards can be out of form for a time, and the next thing, things can happen from their confidence hitting the form at the right time. Sean O'Shea delivered in the semi-final as well. Stephen O'Brien is probably having
he's on for
the year of his life.
Yeah,
absolutely brilliant. These guys are going to ask questions of Dublin.
Oh, they will. And I remember watching the Cork game over, and Paul didn't have his best day, and he probably got frustrated and got sent off. And I remember fellas, O'Rourke was saying that, like, Jesus, he's not the same player. But Paul's been Kerry's best forward probably last 5 or 6 years, probably best forward in Ireland. So I just gave him a text, like, and he will bring it when they needed it, and he's timing it well.
He's a big game player.
He's timing it well, and massive. Plus, Stephen O'Brien's been so consistent the last 2 years nearly. I don't think I've seen him play outstanding poor game.
And if he's anyway a decent final, more than likely he'll pull off here.
Yeah, to be fair to him, he won't care about that. He just wants to get a performance and get Kerry over the line. That's the kind of character he is.
Now, he's worked with different combination, Adrian Spillane, and likewise Jack Barry could be in the running for the midfield slot in the weekend. But what can you say about your own club man, David Moran?
Jeez, I don't want to put too much pressure on him, man. No,
he's playing well.
He is. He's. I don't like the word saying carrying them, but when he plays well, Kerry plays well, and like, to be fair to him, he's shown some adversity over the years. Like, to be even featuring again this year, like after the 2 knees and the eye, if he can just stay fit and get a good run at it, like, he's unstoppable. And
of course, the big man as well from Strand Road, Tommy Welch, could have part to play in this final.
Yeah, Tommy had a great league, and I felt he just needed a bit of patience. He wasn't really getting a look at, and thankfully, like that, a lot of them have timed it well, and he changed the game the last day, so hopefully he can have another outing like that next Sunday. And
Barry John, just breaking news for us here, breaking sports news, a man that you know well, Andy Moran, has retired from inter-county football. He was one hell of a player, wasn't he?
Jesus, he was good. If my club career lasts that long, I'd be happy. Never mind county career.
Andy Moran, he tormented a lot of defences down through the years, and we wish that man all the best. Defence, a lot of work has to be. Intensity, I suppose, will be there, but we'll have to cover for each other, won't we, in that defence? We will. I think the management have brought that work rate, and I know it's easy to say when they leak a few scores that geez, the defence, but the matchups are going to be crucial. I've been thinking about it over the last few days, and they keep switching and who's going to go on who. It's intriguing.
Yeah,
we could be in for a few surprises.
We could, and I think, like Tom Sullivan has been brilliant for Kerry. There was a stat there, 6 games and hasn't conceded a score from play. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, I've never seen something like that, and he's scored 1-4 from play himself from corner back. That's player of the year stuff for me, like. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Of course, you're captain of Strand Road, which is brilliant. Your concentration now is in the championship. Congratulations, captain of the Great Blues, as you call them. Yeah. So that's something to look forward to, the championship. Oh yeah, definitely, most definitely. Big Boston's out of the way now, so it's head down now with Strand Road, and it won't be long coming. Barry John, is probably the first year in how long? When did you get starting? 2010. You're going to be going there as a supporter, and you're great friends with all these guys and the management and what have you. Is it going to be tough up there? Wherever you probably have a good ticket anyway. Is it going to be tough up in that stand watching those guys out there? And you'd say I could be there as well. That's only nature. Yeah, anyway. It will and it won't. But I've soldiered for so long with many of them that I know what they put in, and they deserve to get something out of it. Like, and can I ask you, can we do it? We need to perform. Yeah, we need to get the performance, and like that, you need a bit of luck as well on your side. Dublin have got it previous years against Mayo, and hopefully they won't fear them anyway. They're going to give it a good go. And that's the Kerry thing. And as we get closer to the game, Barry, a lot of people say, oh, it's Dublin we're only going up there, they're saying, just to make up the numbers. But close to the game, you're going, there's a lot of belief around the county. Yeah, look, you can, today's Monday, there's 6 days to the game, you can have all the talk you want, but once that ball's thrown in, all them plans, all them formations, matchups, they're all thrown out the window. The 70, 80 minutes. It takes on a life of its own. Yeah, whoever wants it's going to get it. Barry John, absolutely brilliant. Thanks for coming in this evening. Enjoy the game of the weekend. Who knows, I might bump into you in Dublin, and it's great to have you beside us in the stand. We've always been looking at you, and now you're beside us in the stand. An extra shout, an extra roar.